The studio came to me with Stab. They came to me.
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you'll ever listen to.
Your final bros are here. It's Brian Hotboy LaGrasta and Shane. I'm Black Smith.
Okay.
How'd that taste?
Interesting. Different.
I'm going to come at you today.
Okay. Why?
Because you're a son of a bitch.
Okay.
You're an asshole.
Okay.
You love to eat ass.
Okay.
You pay for sex.
Okay. You're just really coming with a lot right now. So this is how we're doing 2024?
Amsterdam.
This is what 2024 is looking like.
I'm just kidding. Your final bros are here.
And we're doing Scream 3.
Scream 3 with the boys are back. We got Nikki and Matt back on the pod. The Scream fellas. Scream 3. Some say it's the worst Scream. What do you think?
I'm going to agree, but preface that by saying that's still a good movie.
Still a solid flick. Agreed. For sure. You hate to see the end of Cotton, though.
What a shame. He's one of the best characters, because I loved him in Scream 2.
Yeah, he's pretty great in Scream. He's also good in the beginning of this. And
Yeah.
He's creepy in the first one. When they show his pictures, he just looks like a killer.
Yeah, they really do a 180 with his character.
An unsympathetic killer is what he looks like.
What was this? He just wanted to get on. What was the talk show he wants to get?
Diane Sawyer.
That's all he cared about. He's like, Diane Sawyer's looking pretty good right by now. Hey, Sid.
Well, I also think Diane Sawyer gave him a pretty good payout, so he was all about that.
He was all about the cash.
Yeah.
He wanted to make out like a bandit.
Can we also talk about how his new TV show in this movie might be the greatest, name to TV show name of all time? 100% Cotton.
I love it. It's pretty brilliant.
It's kind of like genius as a TV show name. I would be tuning into 100% Cotton.
Me too. It's pretty great. All right. Lot to talk about with Scream 3. Where we left off from Scream 2 was that Timothy Olyphant's character, Mickey, was the killer.
Yes.
We all know what he did. We all know the noises that he made. We were there. We saw it. We reviewed it in the summer.
Mickey,
Along with
Billy's mom.
Billy's mom was also this is the first movie that I feel like there's not a duo killer.
This is the only movie in the series where there's
sure.
not a duo killer.
Yeah.
Kind of makes it a little iconic for that.
It does. I think so. You haven't seen Screams 5 and 6,
I haven't
correct?
seen after 4.
They actually call in Scream 6. They say something. They're like, Roman Bridger, only solo killer. You gotta at least credit him for that.
Yeah,
it's kind of the line they throw in Scream 6.
Progressive or trying to be.
They're very progressive of him or something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What do you think about Roman? Do you think he's the worst killer of the group?
Okay.
Because a lot of people think he's a dweeb.
The worst. I don't know. It's tough because I'm gonna throw it out there. Mickey's kind of dumb as a killer.
He's dumb, but I think he's probably one.
He's
of the
iconic.
He's one of the most brutal, though.
Yeah.
I feel like this one, Roman's he's still a little goofy,
He
how,
is.
Billy and
because he's killing because of his mommy issues.
yeah, Billy and Stu were a little goofy.
A little goofy. Well, Stu is just, you hit me with the phone, dick. And now Stu's going on to bigger and better things like Five Nights at Freddy's.
And he's still the same there. Like his reveal, spoiler alert, as the killer.
Yeah.
At the end. He goes straight Matthew Lillard.
He does. It is probably the best part of that movie.
Mega spoiler.
Yeah, mega spoiler if you haven't seen Five Nights at Freddy's. We're going to review that probably in the summer. Our schedule's so busy right now.
It is busy. We have a hot schedule, though.
Because fucked up February's around the corner.
It
is. The 200th's around the corner.
We haven't abridged.
Yeah.
Fucked up February.
Because the 200th landed in there.
It's going to be the last week of February.
You guys will probably be back for the 200th.
We're gonna do 3 weeks of that, and then the last week will be the 200th episode special. We're gonna have. The only thing is, unfortunately, we're not giving you back an extra ep of fucked up. It is what it is. We only do it in February, so you're only getting 3. But we do have a lot of themed months coming up.
We also kind of made up for it by doing, out of the 3 movies, 2 really fucked up movies for fucked up February. So that's going to be fun.
True. We're making up for it with, you're right, 2 extremely crazy movies.
Yeah.
For sure.
But we're not going to just talk about that. We got 2 guests, so it's only fitting we jump into the spooky pit and talk about this movie.
Yeah, let me jump into the spooky pit with you guys for this one. Okie dokie. Scream 3 released in 2000. Stab 3 will be the greatest movie of all time if he has a cast to make it. That's Roman, that is. Big director Roman. Producer Lance Henriksen on this production. And Lance Henriksen, he's been in the scene since the 70s. You'll find out. Messing around with Rena, a.k.a. Maureen Prescott.
Yep.
Film is directed by Wes Craven, stars Nev Campbell as Sidney Prescott, David Arquette as Dewey Riley, Courtney Cox as Gail Weathers, Liev Schreiber as Cotton Weary, Patrick Dempsey as Mark Kincaid, and Roger Jackson, who continues to do the voice of Ghostface. Okay, and that's so that's that. Let's pop into this one. Is that Courtney Cox with an ascot?
Okay, let's
Definitely an interesting haircut, to say the least.
It's very like Vietnamese boyish.
It's not her best look.
No.
It was not. This cast, though, I love this cast because, one, you got McDreamy, Patrick Dempsey, of course.
Yeah. He's
fantastic. I love Parker Posey as Jennifer.
fucking Parker Posey, Jennifer McCarthy.
Yes.
As the like all the fill-in actors and actresses are kind of great.
But, like, Parker Posey, when she starts, like, tagging along with Gail Weathers in this movie, and she's like going at Lance Hendrickson. She's like, "You're obsessed with her, and you're obsessed with our mother."
Well, she does like the fill-in Gail.
Yeah,
it's pretty
it's
funny.
incredible.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the opening. We're gonna open classic Scream fashion. Phone call. This time to Cotton Weary.
And he's in his car because Cotton he's just such a celebrity now.
Yeah.
He's never sitting still. He's always on the move. He's on the go because he's big buck Cotton.
He is
100% of them.
100%.
And it fits because, you always wear those 100% cotton undies.
Mm-hmm.
100% cotton panties.
Yeah, all those.
Shanty.
Was that a South Park reference?
Yeah, it 100% was a South Park reference.
But yeah, so he's going to get this call. It's this girl. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing? I like you," or whatever. Even though he's like engaged or something.
You're not my fiance.
He's like, but he's like, "Where are you from?" It's like, "How far are you?" But
The super fan.
Yeah. We find out it's the killer who is currently stalking his girlfriend, fiance,
And
whatever
you
she
immediately
is.
think this is you didn't even watch the movie yet, but you just know it's going to be a cast member because this is someone that could do voice impersonations, and that's what it is. And that just, you knew it.
It's just so obvious.
Not thinking that there'd be like a voice tuner, but
Yeah, so that technology existed back in 1999.
it is what it is.
Yeah. It's fine with me because like that spawned like the presidents playing Minecraft and stuff.
I feel like we're going right. I'm like just really sidetracking the whole conversation. But that would have to mean that the technology, that this person would have access to basically someone's voice, right? And have anything that they would say built off the tone of their voice.
Yes.
It is like AI, and
this technology came out last year. So the Scream was ahead of the curve.
way ahead of the curve, like 23 years ahead of the curve.
Yeah. I mean, because it does exist now.
Does he have a purpose in this movie, or just to be black?
Are you talking about
Tyson,
who is playing Randy?
He
or
mentions it
something.
here too. Yeah, mentions it.
He actually is very weird in this movie. He's the one character that just disappears until the party at the end.
Yeah.
Right? Like
he does disappear. Like, he's in the beginning, and
he's not in the house explosion. Was he supposed to be like a red herring that like, oh, he's never around, maybe he's the killer? Because I never once in my life thought he was the killer.
They didn't explore that at all.
Yeah, like
I feel like this movie kind of goes back to the roots of Scream 1, where the guy that they constantly accused was actually the killer.
yes. Like, all right, so we'll get back to Cotton and his downfall in a second. But like while watching this movie for the first time, like whenever you did,
A long fucking
time ago,
Yeah.
like did you automatically assume the killer was the killer? Like they don't really do a good job of framing other people as the killer in this movie. I feel like
this one I truly did not know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know.
Yeah, it also, kind of throws you for some loops along the way. Like at the house party, like people are dead, then they're not dead, and they come back, and things happen. So, it's kind of hard to follow when you're getting thrown curveballs left and right.
So I think, thinking back to when I watched this, there's only two people I thought would have been the killer, and that was Roman and Patrick Dempsey.
You didn't think it was going to be Milton?
Oh, like the head of it. I never once. I thought he was too old for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Lance Hendrickson, and he's spry, but
very spry.
I never thought. I thought it was going to be the cop.
1 to 10, David Arquette's mustache in this scene.
David Arquette's mustache in this movie is amazing.
That literally looks markered on.
It's real.
Is it? Can you confirm?
Yeah, like that looks so markered on.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other cop, not the main cop.
Yeah, the guy that was basically Ben Stiller as impersonator.
But
he does look like Ben Stiller.
He kept on going after it. Like he kept on being like rude to them and everything, and then he just randomly disappears when he's supposed to be watching on Sydney.
So what you're saying is
he's literally supposed to be watching after Sydney, and like he makes that comment saying like that you're gonna go get roses and candy for her, and then just disappears.
A lot of people disappear in this movie.
Yeah, it's true. For off like an obscene amount of time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Very off-putting. But at the same time, like it kind of does throw you off, like Nick said. Like I really didn't know. But back to you with Cotton Weary, or else we're never going to talk about this movie.
Well, to be fair, at least we are talking about the movie, just theories.
And we can all agree that you love paying for sex in other countries.
Apparently. But let's get back to the movie. So Cotton's going to get to his house. He's going to try to save his girlfriend, fiance, wife. And the thing is, the voice changer was used on her, so she thinks Cotton's attacking her. So when Cotton comes to save her, she thinks Cotton's the enemy.
She's going to whack him with a club?
A club. Or fire poker.
It's like a nightstick.
And it's crazy because he sees Ghostface behind her, and he's getting crushed.
Yeah, he tries to warn her. She doesn't buy it. She gets stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
Then he gets a bookcase thrown on him. He gets punched. He hits his head. Could be concussed, which is the only reason Cotton Weary loses this fight to who this killer is.
He's a monster of a man.
That's what I'm saying.
He's very big.
When you really think of who the killer is and who Cotton Weary is, he ain't losing this fight unless he takes a concussion to that desk.
That's fair. You're actually 100% right. No chance.
Like, no chance.
They don't actually show the kill, but they assume they stab him right in the forehead.
That's what it looks like. It looks like he gets a forehead stab.
You see the first stab.
Yeah.
It's pretty deep. And then, that last one. And then you just get the opening title.
Yep. And then you find out Sydney now works for a call center for people who are either suicidal or scared of leaving their home.
And also notice that she doesn't use her actual name. She goes by like an alias of some sort.
Yes. I don't remember what the alias is.
Either.
I'll have to ask Jennifer Gardner. She was an alias, right?
Yeah, nice. I see what you did there.
But yeah. So she's just doing that. Sydney doesn't really appear in this movie until like an hour in.
Yes, you're right. She's like missing for an hour. You see a lot of Gail and you see a lot of Dewey.
Yeah. They're the main two characters in this movie.
And who I'm calling the faux cast, the cast members that are playing the real characters.
Yes. Jenny McCarthy is playing someone. I think Tyson's playing Randy.
Yeah.
Is Black Randy?
So this is they're making the movie about the Woodsboro murders. Is Jenny McCarthy playing Dewey's sister?
That's what I thought. That's what it kind of seemed like.
I would think so as well.
But like it's weird because this is technically Stab 3.
So when she'd be dead already?
She'd be dead already.
Right? Like that, I was thinking the same thing. Like, so who is she playing?
But there's like flashback scenes in this movie that they're filming because Sydney's mother, who is dead, plays a big role as the corpse in the one's house. I don't know. The movies are very confusing.
Yeah, also, don't forget Courtney Cox's character. I forgot her name already. She was supposed to be dead in this movie too, and that's obviously they're just making up a script.
So that's the thing, though. Now we're diving deep because there's 3 different scripts.
Yeah, there's 3 different scripts. So like when those like initial characters die, they think that Jennifer is going to be the next one, seeing that she's the next one in the script to die. But then they say that I think they said that it's leaked online.
Yes, so there's 3 scripts because
scripts.
there's a scene later on when Jennifer's about to be killed where she starts yelling, "I'm actually the killer. I'm actually the killer," meaning that Courtney Cox was the killer in one of the 3 scripts.
Exactly, and that would this is brought to our attention by Mr. Patrick Dempsey.
Yes. So basically, once the first Cotton Weary is murdered, Gail Weathers, of course, shows up. She's going to start doing some investigative work. She's going to work with the police. That's when she goes on to set, right? And that's where she sees that Dewey is like a counselor for like the movie to like say what would happen in the Woodsboro murders and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's like a consultant.
Yeah, consultant. That's the word I was looking for.
Yep.
What do you think of Dewey the consultant?
I don't know, but he's got like a weird. I mean, I like Dewey regardless. Dewey's pretty great, but he's got like this weird relationship with Jennifer. He's staying with Jennifer.
Yes.
And who's playing Gail, and Gail is catching feelings. She's a little jealous.
Oh, Gail is instantly jealous.
Yeah. They just can't get it right, those two.
No.
Couldn't even do it in real life.
Well, I mean, yeah, they didn't. They got
At this
divorced.
point, they're divorced, right?
Yeah.
I don't know when did they
I
actually.
actually have no idea.
Yeah.
It must have been an amicable divorce.
Oh yeah, they're actually still really good
Yeah,
friends.
because they do movies. They do different movies together still.
Well, because you gotta think David Arquette directed The Tripper, and Courtney Cox was in that
And
for
that was
him.
like, what, 06?
Yeah, so they definitely remain like close even after divorce.
There's Jenny McCarthy Wahlberg for you.
Yes. So Jenny McCarthy is going to be our next victim. She gets a call that she has to go to run lines with Roman at Roman's office, but Roman's not going to be there.
Correct. And this is not New Year's. She's not giving kisses to the policeman, the fireman.
My God. No, instead
She's 35-year-old playing a 21-year-old.
what she brings up. She's like, why is this shower scene got to happen? It's so overplayed.
She's pretty great in basketball.
She's amazing
she's
in
pretty
basketball.
fucking great in basketball.
He's like, my lobby could use some buffing.
I feel like Jenny McCarthy is the kind of Hollywood girl that would be a bro.
Yes. She just seems awesome.
I could be very wrong with that, but from the roles that she takes, I get that vibe.
It's like she's very self-aware of her sexuality selling, so she uses her sexuality in comedic roles to sell it.
But it works.
It does, because she's great in this movie, and she's in it for literally 8 minutes.
Yeah, well, she's the second kill, which we're going to get to in a minute.
Right now. So she gets to Roman's office. She's talking to Roman on the phone. She thinks she's talking to Roman on the phone because they start running lines, and then she realizes it's the killer, and he's there. And they're going to have a whole little cat and mouse thing, classic. You know, she's going to hide in some clothing racks. He's going to be there. She's going to get thrown through a glass door and stabbed.
Yeah.
Classic.
A lot of stabbing. Stab 3, a lot of stab kill, Shane.
I think every kill's a stab.
Pretty much.
Well, I think we talked about it last time. Was that one gunshot kill from Scream 2, like one of the only few gunshot kills in this whole series?
So,
for the most part, up till like the new.
So I feel like most of the the victims of the killer are stabbed, but the killers themselves are normally shot or get a TV thrown on their head.
Now, I know what you're thinking, that this was a sign that Roman was next. The head of the award.
The award was broken, yes. And Roman's going to bring that to the police attention because they're going to question Roman. They're going to be like, she said she was going to meet you. He's going to be like, I didn't know that. I wasn't there. And he's like, you're going to tell me this isn't a sign? Hold up the headless trophy. He's like, I'm next.
Yeah. Now, when you're looking at someone like Jenny McCarthy and you've seen Gail Weathers, are you thinking what I'm thinking? This movie has got a lot of appropriate freckle boob.
I'm going to be honest. Thought never once crossed my head. Should it have?
You tell me, Shane.
Coming from you.
Yeah, I don't think that thought ever ran across my head. So, Brian, I have questions for you, because what are you thinking about? Maybe you should get your mind out of the gutter while watching these movies.
Mind out of the gutter. Shane, this is perception. This is what someone does when they critique a movie.
So you rolled a D20 and noticed freckle boob?
I hit a 75 perception roll.
Okay.
I also noticed that Emily Mortimer's in this movie. She's in every British thing ever made.
I didn't even notice that. Oh, man. Okay. So once she's dead, they realize they got to start digging up some info, and they got to stick together. So they have a house party. Well, not a house party. It's almost like
It's like a little get-together, safe place.
Yeah, for the screenplay, and they're talking about...
They're at Fake Gail's house, right? Yeah.
Cast party?
Yeah, cast party. We find out her bodyguard is Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Was he famous at this time? Probably not. Maybe making his way?
He might have been making his way.
He's pretty great in this movie.
He's amazing in this movie. If you don't know about Patrick Warburton, he is the uncle of Zach from The Bachelor.
Interesting.
Yeah, Simon's throwing facts out there.
Fair.
This is for you Bachelor watchers out there.
That's fair.
He was in The Bachelor when they visited Zach's family. Patrick Warburton's like, yeah, Patrick Warburton. Hi, how are you?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so he's there. He's also going to call Dewey Dewdrop, which is one of my favorite parts of this movie.
It's kind of sick because it just makes me think of that WWE female wrestler.
Dewdrop.
That her name?
Dewdrop. It
Yeah.
used to be. Now it's like Piper Niven or
Yeah,
something
but
like
she
that,
was
but-
Dewdrop for a bit.
Piper Niven was Dewdrop.
Yeah, in WWE.
Wow. I didn't.
I just love, though, how Patrick Warburton's like, hey, Dewdrop. What you doing over here?
Pretty funny.
I'm pretty sure when he's like walking towards them as he's like literally about to croak, he literally says "dewdrop" as he's dying.
Does. Doesn't he have like a knife like in his spinal cord?
Yeah.
It's like Dewdrop. But yeah, he gets murdered here as he's patrolling the perimeter. So now they're all scared. The lights are going to go out. It's real eerie. And this is the worst kill in the entire series. I don't know. I think it's kind of dumb.
Why? Because there's just a fax machine going off with no power.
Could be one reason. Could be the other reason that like as he's like reading it, he doesn't smell the gas until he lights it. He's like, you smell the gas. House blows up.
And that place implodes. That was it. Tom.
Tom's house. I mean, Tom is dead.
Tom is super dead.
Yeah, I feel like if
Brain
the
Dewey.
house were to explode that much, that would be very noticeable.
A noticeable amount of gas.
I feel like this was such a plot device. The whole conversation leading up to this kill, just the way that like he had to like read the script, so he has to go. And of course, like at this point, like how would the killer know to write this? So because he needs to look around for a light to see this.
Yeah. So where's the killer during this? Like, how is this whole situation actually happening?
It's kind of wild.
The house blows up. The 4 people that are there, it would be Jennifer, Gail, Dewey, and girl who's playing Sidney Prescott.
Yeah, Emily Mortimer.
Yeah. They all fly off, roll down some hill,
They're all scattered
scattered.
to the wind.
Yes. Someone's about to kill Gail, but Dewey shoots him.
Several times, actually.
Dewey
Up
does
against
that Dewey thing where then after that, he just is like, whoops, and trips down a mountain.
Yeah, he's classic Dewdrop.
Which I don't understand because the actual recoil would push him backwards as it fell.
Yeah, no, his fall makes zero gravitational
We're
sense.
also talking about Dewey, and half the things he does in this series also makes no sense.
One would even question how this man still is able to function.
Yes, he's been stabbed in the spine like 14 times.
It's actually crazy though, but for the first hour or so of this movie, Dewey is the main character because Sidney's nowhere to be found.
I would actually argue he's the main character of the entire movie. Like I would
He
really make
probably
the
is.
argument because I know it's like everything's still centered around Sidney's life, but his screen time, I think I would suggest him being the main character of this movie.
Did you guys notice that his limp is like very dramatic?
Okay.
Well, it's from
It-
Stab 1.
It's worse.
Well,
in
it's
the
also
second.
from Stab 2 because he gets stabbed in the
Yeah,
back in Stab
yeah.
2.
It's significantly worse in the second, though. I feel like in the second he's a shell.
Yeah, he could barely move.
Well,
I think the
time frame-
next stab though kind of reset his spine. I'm actually almost positive in Stab 4 he doesn't even limp. Scream 4 he doesn't even limp.
Well, there's a bigger
Time frame, yeah.
So
Rehab, Gail, it all set him straight. She rearranged that spine like a chiropractor on YouTube.
Fair.
So they're going to find out. There's been this ongoing thing of Sydney seeing her dead mom in dreams and the killer leaving photos of Maureen Prescott
A young
at the
Maureen
death.
Prescott.
Yes. So this is
crime scene.
they're going to start investigating. So Gail and fake Gail are going to go down to meet Princess Leia, and
That's true. It is Carrie Fisher.
yeah, and she's going to give them the notes
And we
on
all know that Carrie Fisher only got the role because she slept with George Lucas.
I love the joke.
Pretty great.
Lands for me.
Got to be a Wes Craven drop.
100%. Always is.
Wes Craven, does he make a cameo in this? Or
Yeah, he does. He's like when they're at the studio. He's like a camera guy. It's
Yeah,
like-
he is. Jay and Silent Bob also have my favorite line in this movie is when they're just in the studio and they look at Gail and they're like, hey, isn't that Connie Chung chick?
Hilarious.
I actually really like it. Yeah, so that's what they're doing. Dewey's going to be talking to Detective Kincaid, Patrick Dempsey, and he's like, look, I need Sydney here now. She's the key to all of this. And Dewey's like, I can't do that. She'll never come. And she's like standing behind him.
Yeah.
Well, that's because one part that we skipped over, the killer calls Sydney.
That's right,
on
yes.
the hotline.
Yeah.
And even with Sydney using her fake name, the killer still knew it was Sydney because I actually called the house phone, not the hotline number.
We also did we thoroughly explain what she's doing right now? Like how she's like completely isolated?
I did mention she's doing like the call center work and stuff like that.
She's like apparently like in the back.
Yeah, she's like deep PA.
Deep PA. No, for sure. She's out there, but now she came back because she's like, oh, the killer found me. I'm not gonna be safe there.
Might as well go and solve the
people
case
that I care about and solve this case.
Yes. So the information that Gail and Fake Gail gather is that Sidney Prescott's mom, Maureen Prescott, was actually
Rena
Reynolds
Under her stage name.
on her stage name, and she had done movies for Milton.
3 movies, I believe. 3 movies, 3 scripts.
It was like
3 times you paid for Sex in Amsterdam.
Yeah, it was like vampire backstreet sluts, like Dracula's secondary wife, and like all that
all
bullshit.
the classics.
Yeah.
All the movies that we'll guest star in.
The movies we would review on Final Friday. Actually, I would review a Rena Reynolds film on Final Friday. I think it's like a lot.
It's right in our wheelhouse, dude.
So they're going to now go interrogate Milton. We find out it's Roman's birthday.
It is Roman's birthday. Yes.
Sad time for Roman. No one wants to celebrate his birthday.
Who would? There's a killer on the loose. Yeah. And he's fucking up his movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fucking up his, his legacy.
Yeah. He's throwing a banger, though.
He's throwing a banger. Also, speaking of bangers and banging, Randy from the dead, knowing everything that was going to happen, foretold this, has given a videotape to his 17-year-old sister to share with the group.
Yeah, that videotape, he's just like, you're dealing with a trilogy, trust me. I'm dead, but I called it.
He's like, listen, I'm dead, and you're going to have to hear this. So, like, is this supposed to be, like, in the future as if something happened again after the Stab 2 murders or directly after the Stab 2 murders?
I think it was like...
Because I feel like it's supposed to be during the Stab 2 murders.
Yeah, like he makes this tape during the Stab 2 murders.
And I think the biggest thing is kind of something they already knew, where he was just like, it could be a past sin that's going to come to haunt you.
I love the line where it's like, you know the past? You don't fucking know the past.
Yeah.
The past is going to come back and bite you in the ass.
I feel like he didn't give any sort of information that would help them, like, at all.
No, the only information he gives that's helpful is like, Sid, you could die.
It's like, watch out, guys.
This could get bloody.
Yeah.
Randy's sister, played by Hostel 2 alum.
Really?
Yeah. She's the one who gets hung upside down and cut with like a scythe.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. She'll come back in Scream 5.
Sure. Yes, she will. Sure.
She'll have black children.
We all do it. It happens.
Yeah, so that's going to happen. Now they're just going to go to the party, right? Am I missing anything in between? You guys tell me if I'm missing anything.
I mean,
No, I think you're...
not really. I mean, you want to talk? You talk about the history of Milton, how he explains like the '70s stuff that I was.
Yeah,
talking about?
that's actually a good thing to talk about. So yeah, when they're talking about to Milton, Milton's like, it was the '70s. I threw some wild parties.
He's like, there's some shit went down. I don't know all of it, but I could promise you some shit went down.
I can promise you the guest list was me, Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein. That was the guest list.
I just realized this now. Rena. It's like short for.
Yeah, sure.
For
You're
Maureen,
right. You're right. Yeah,
Rena,
it makes sense.
yeah.
Maureen, Rena. Yeah,
Yeah, well.
that's a lot of people. Just that's how they change their names like that.
Yeah.
Because even the girl's playing fake Gail, her name's like Porter Smith or something weird, and she changed it, right? Wasn't it like?
Yeah.
She was making fun of
Yeah.
it, and then that's what happened. Yeah.
You just gotta have that sexy stage name.
For sure.
And it needs to have like alliteration to it. I feel like. And Rena Reynolds.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
I totally made him.
I would it surprise you if that wasn't his real name? Wouldn't surprise me.
Never know. We'll
don't
never know.
Isn't like Natalie Portman's actual name like Natalie Hirschlag?
Is it really?
I'm almost positive it is.
Why is she Portman?
Because it sounds better than Hirschlag.
I guess so. You know what's funny though? You have guys that have like and like they just have crazier names, and they're just make it famous with those crazy names.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example, like Jason Schwartzman.
Yeah.
David Schwimmer.
David Schwimmer, it has a good ring to it. Could it have been better? Yeah. But, you know, yeah, it is. Her name is Hirschlag. That's wild.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, so let's go party at Milton's, right? It's not the 70s anymore, so there's only 5 people there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Roman's drunk already.
Well, that's because half the people that would have been invited to the party are dead already.
That's a good point.
That's fair. Roman's hitting the bottle.
Yeah. Sydney's going to stay at the police station. They don't think it's safe for her, so she's staying under the supervision of Detective Kincaid, who literally doesn't watch her at all, and she's able to sneak out
Do you
and
think
leave.
that Detective Kincaid, a.k.a. Patrick Dempsey, is the future version of Timothée Chalamet?
I never thought of it that
Give
way.
me the vibe in this movie. I think it was just the hair.
The hair.
Speaking of, you like the Fuel soundtrack that they had in this?
The music's great.
You love Scream music.
I do.
You love
Who
the
doesn't?
tones, the cues. They still do it in this.
They do it. They do it great. I love Dewey's down, 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 down.
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
Down, down,
I
down,
like
down.
the Gail Jennifer music that plays.
Also great.
Pretty cool. Patrick Warburton's about to die.
Yeah, we still run the movie in the background. So what? We're like 5 hours ahead of where we are in the actual movie, but that's a good thing. Otherwise, these reviews would take forever. Yep. Okay, so we're at the party. We got all the people there. We got Roman. We got Tyson. We got Jennifer. We got Emily Mortimer. And now we got Gail and Dewey.
Yeah, the whole crew.
The whole crew.
The whole Hirschlag.
And all that's going to happen is Roman and Jennifer are going to go look around the house for Milton's secret film room. Do you know
The 70s stuff.
back in the 70s, that was some eyes wide shut shit going on down there.
70s parties, you know it's masquerade. You know it's drugs.
Yeah.
You know, God, it's a lot of things.
Yeah. Human trafficking, all of it.
I'm just trying to think of what was a 70s drug? Because I feel like acid was already out.
Coke.
Coke was not until the 80s.
80s. Coke was more 80s.
So what was the 70s drug of choice?
It was probably
Just
weed
heroin?
No, I honestly think acid was big in like
still
yeah.
spillover from acid. That was definitely like a late 60s thing with the whole hippie.
But it depends because if it's late 70s, Coke is starting to get big for the 80s.
Maybe.
So if it's late 70s, this is Coke party.
Yeah, I guess maybe.
But they Roman goes downstairs into the basement.
Yeah.
And he's going to be found dead by Jennifer and Gail.
Yes.
And that's when they start a panic and they got to leave. Everyone's got to leave. This is when fake Sydney is going to be like, I didn't sleep with that pig Milton to die with a bunch of B-list celebrities like you.
She literally... That's Emily Mortimer.
Yeah.
Says that, right? The fake Sydney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was another one.
Blast.
I feel like they tried to give some red herrings that she was going to be the killer, and I never bought into it
Yeah,
once.
Well, when the
Potentially.
house exploded, she was for some reason all the way out by herself, and
Yeah.
like,
Well, didn't she-
Dewey and them thought maybe it was
She
her.
also stole a mask at one point.
Yeah, she saw Sydney and she had like a weird moment.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, the thing, like she won a competition to get the role.
Yeah,
Right?
sleeping with Milton.
I mean, it's big. You got to win one way or another.
Yeah.
You know how many people have slept with Milton over the years?
He's probably putting up fucking Wilt numbers.
Probably putting out freaking what's his name?
Harvey Weinstein numbers.
Oh God.
Weinstein
Yikes.
numbers.
So Emily Mortimer's going to get killed. They're going to drag the body off. Tyson's going to run into all this commotion, and he's going to be like, oh, shit, get stabbed, then run away. The rug is literally going to get pulled from under him, and he's going to do a flip onto his neck and spine. And I thought that killed him.
Yeah.
It didn't. He's now going to get tossed out of a window. He's dead. He's dead guy.
On the floor, bleeding.
Bleeding. Just
Sound
dead guy.
laters, blood,
Yeah.
whatever.
All this is going on. I forgot, does Jennifer get killed too before Sydney gets the phone call to come save them? She does, right?
Yeah. She falls into that back, like behind the mirror
Mirror room. Yeah. And Dewey's just going to start wildly shooting at the mirror.
Pops it because it's like a double-sided mirror. He just hears, I guess, so he's just popping all of them.
I guess it's kind of smart. He was shooting upwards. That
True.
way-
So he wouldn't have
that
shot her
way-
because she's
yeah.
not tall.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, or else he would have killed anybody that,
Yeah.
that was in the other room.
So when he finally shoots her mirror out, she just falls through, stabbed and killed.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Jennifer. We hardly knew you. That's when Sydney's going to get the call to the police station.
Yeah.
And he's going to be like, come alone. This is kind of dumb. This was the one thing I thought was dumb because he's like, don't tell anyone. How the fuck is the killer going to know if she told anyone?
I know.
Like, she easily could just hang up the phone and tell, like, literally just Kincaid.
True.
Which Kincaid ends up there anyway.
Anyway.
Kincaid, who lives near Hollywood.
Yeah.
And the red herring around him is because he's a homicide detective and he makes all these weird cues with her when she's there.
And his favorite horror movie is his life.
That's one of them.
Really depressing.
Which Sydney also agreed to when they talked about it. So.
And he also knows all the studios incredibly well.
Yep. So he would know his way around. He would know, how to sneak in and kill some people in the studio. Yeah. So Sydney's going to show up. She's going to take a gun with her, though. But this killer is smart and has access to a metal detector.
And he wants her to monitor her whole body, which she does. And he catches a little slug.
Yeah.
On her right ankle, I think.
So she has to throw it into the pool. She goes in. Dewey and Gail are tied up. She's got to save them. But the killer's there.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's always the problem.
She chases the killer off, throws him through. Then who shows up? Kincaid.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, at this moment, I'm like, okay, Kincaid did the wardrobe change. He's the killer.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
I mean, well, like, that's just like the Scream.
Classic.
Exactly. It's like the red herring that's just kind of like going to reveal itself. But that's not the case.
No, because the killer appears behind Kincaid and throws him headfirst into a fireplace.
I mean, yeah, and he's going to do him in.
Yeah. See, well, he's concussed.
I mean, it's going to rock his world, though.
It is. He's bleeding pretty heavily.
Have you ever... I actually have ran into a fireplace face first before.
How did that feel?
As a 2-year-old.
Oh.
I don't remember.
What, is it because you were 2 or was it because of the concussion?
Who knows, Shane? But it's true. And I needed to get... Did I need stitches as a kid? I needed some medical attention.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, it sounds painful.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I understand his pain.
Yes. Anyone else have any head trauma we want to discuss?
Shane once put me in a hamper and then pushed it over, and I got about 18 stitches in my head. So
It's not actually how that happened at all. I put him in the hamper, but the hamper fell over. I wasn't shoving the hamper.
Some would say.
Some would say it was an inside job. It wasn't. The hamper tipped over. I was like 4.
It's like 4.
Which means
you're a violent kid.
Which means I was a baby. I was 1.
No, okay, you were 2, I think, so I was 5.
I feel like Scream 7 is going to be so ahead of its time that while watching it, one of us is going to be the killer.
That would be sick. That would be sick. This is why we got to keep watching these Scream movies so we can actually be ready for Scream 7 when it happens.
Sure.
That's why I want to start catching up with Saw, even, like I said, because Saw 11's coming out next year.
We got just about a jillion of them to watch.
I know. We'll try to get... We got to schedule some at some point. We'll get there. Maybe we'll do a Saw month. Who knows? Even if we did a Saw month, we would still be a bajillion behind.
Yeah, we need probably more than 2 Saw months. We need a lot of Saw months, dude.
Yo, we really do. Okay, so she's going to untie Gail and Dewey. She's going to try to help Kincaid. The killer's going to come back. They're going to get into another little altercation. Gail's going to get tossed down the stairs, right, with the killer. They, tumble down the stairs. Dewey's going to look down those stairs, get a knife tossed at his head, and it's going to hit him with the wrong side, and he's just going to tumble down some stairs. Classic Dewey.
Well, at first, Dewey's hesitant to even open the door because Dewey thinks...
Oh, the voice changer.
The killer's using the voice changer when it actually is Gail. And that's the whole part of the voice changer where, are you actually talking to the person? Is it the killer?
Sure.
And Dewey had to go through that dilemma. He opens the door, instantly gets the back of a knife to the head.
It nails him right in the middle of the forehead. And, of course, he just awkwardly falls forward.
He even makes that like a Dewey noise, like, ooh.
He just there's the fall forward there. And then he's going to have that same reaction down the stairs.
He is
He defies physics.
Yeah, he
I
does.
guess he should be going backwards every time he goes forward.
I honestly thought that he was just gonna run in. Like I didn't think he was gonna actually think about it, even though he was once he's a sheriff or whatever.
Yeah.
But I honestly like love always ends up overpowering
Like
him.
logic.
Yeah.
A common thing that we spoke about on this podcast was my tire alignment, right?
Yeah.
So my tire alignment was so bad that my car would just automatically shift leftward, as if I didn't touch it, it's just going into the left lane and not to incoming traffic.
Yeah.
So I feel like Dewey's injuries over time has caused him his forward alignment, that if he's just not correct and something happens, he's always just going to get pushed forward.
I love this theory. Absolutely love it.
He's just off kilter, essentially. He needs the scale to be tipped backward. Problem is, that's not going to happen. At least not until probably ever.
No, his forward alignment is cooked.
It's cooked.
All right, so Sydney and the killer are gonna start running around. Sydney's gonna like pull some books off a shelf. She's gonna find the secret room, which then is just a video of her mom already playing. So the killer knew Sydney would find this room automatically.
Yeah,
we are to assume.
So I guess the killer could have been chasing her directly to that way, because you can see the light underneath the bookcase.
Yes.
Like it looks like there's something. That's why she starts pulling all the books.
True.
But yeah, no, it was pretty convenient how she did end up there.
Instantly. This is when her mother is going to show up in a bloody sack, but of course it's not her mother.
So like she has nightmares throughout this movie,
Yeah.
right? And thinks she hears her mother. And yes, is there explanations for this? Yes. And then you have to also understand that the killer has this voodoo where he can implant nightmares into you.
Yes. Because how would he know she was having these nightmares?
I have no clue. But she does.
She's
She
a director,
absolutely
Shane.
does. Nightmares of her mother walking in a gown
Yep.
throughout this movie.
So he takes off the thing. It's not the mother. It's obviously Ghostface. And this is when he goes on his like, I did it all. I implanted the seed in Billy and Stu, and I made Stu the fall guy, and I did all this, and I've been following you, and I wanted to get back at the mother that you have and the mother that you stole. Roman Bridger, director.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Sydney's brother.
Yep. Half brother.
Half brother.
Same mother, different fathers. Because his father is Milton.
Yeah, I mean, but Rena, she was promiscuous.
So this is the thing with Sydney's mom. She's a whore.
A little bit.
Because, like, it wasn't just like she was sleeping with directors in the 70s. Like, she literally cheated on Sydney's dad with Billy's dad.
Yes.
So, like,
So she got around.
she did get around.
She's a whore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Roman's whole plan is to frame Sydney for snapping, for finding out all this information. So he brings a tied up Milton out. And the idea is that, like, she killed Milton and the entire cast of Stab.
Yeah, and he's talking about
Yeah.
it. He's explaining and I love how that's a classic thing to do. Explain how it's going down, even though you can just do the action because she's going to be dead anyway.
Yeah, but he's not going to get off on her knowing unless he tells her there.
He just needs to see her expression when he conveys exactly how he's going to get away with all of these murders.
Yes. So, like, he doesn't hesitate, though, and instantly kills Milton. Slits his throat right there.
Yeah.
So now it's just time to kill Sid, then go and kill Dewey and Gale, and then the whole plan is perfect.
And let's just talk about the Kevlar he's wearing. Massive amounts of Kevlar.
Yeah, because she's going to shoot him right here, and he's just like, I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose, fire away, fire away.
Nice.
Yeah. I tied that together with our Megan review.
Been there, done there, messed around. I'm having fun. Don't let me down. Sorry, I'm singing like that.
Okay. But yeah. He's bulletproof. They're gonna fight. Gale and Dewey can't get through the door, but then someone does get through the door, and it's Kincaid.
Yeah.
And he gets
Busts
his
through.
head.
He lockpicks, right?
Yes, and then he gets his head thrown into a fireplace and knocked out again.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's got brain.
He literally, his brain is the consistency of, like, I don't know.
Mush.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
You're not wrong.
like his brain is leaking through his ears at this point.
Got it.
They're gonna fight again. after that. Sydney's going to be like, found something, has the knife. He's like, also found something. And he's going to shoot her twice.
Fair.
She's also wearing Kevlar.
She came prepared.
Yeah, I mean,
Detective Wallace is Kevlar.
yeah, you could tell they're brother and sister right off the body armor, like thing.
They know exactly how to think alike. You know?
They do. Do Gail and Dewey get into the room though before? No, they don't yet. Before, because then once she's like, he realizes she was wearing body armor, she's gonna surprise attack him. She's gonna stab him twice with an ice pick.
Well, doesn't she call him?
Yeah,
Like,
she
on the
calls
phone?
him.
Yeah.
Then she gets the surprise, stabs him twice with the ice pick, and she thinks he's dead.
But we've seen Scream too.
Well, doesn't she actually get the actual knife? Stab him down?
I thought she finished him off with the ice pick.
Because I thought she, like, grabbed a knife and stabbed him down
Yeah, I
through the
thought that as
chest.
well.
Oh, so she stabs him with the knife. Okay.
But apparently, still,
It doesn't matter. She might as well have just stabbed him with the ice pick.
He's supernatural.
I think they make a remark too about him like having supernatural powers that he just come back to life courtesy of something Randy said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Randy's a prophet. He always knew.
So he does get back up
Yeah.
and charges them.
Yes. And Dewey shoots him 47 times.
Yeah. But it doesn't work because he's got the Kev. So she's like, aim for the head, bro.
Like, please shoot this man in the head.
Yeah.
Dewey has the biggest clip of all time.
Yeah.
Freaking, like you said, honestly, probably shoots him close to 20 times, but, you know.
He finally shoots him in the head, and he's dead. And then everyone's happy. Like, they go back to Sydney's place in PA, and they're going to watch a scary movie. Dewey, Gail, Kincaid, who is now there with Sydney. This is, though, big reveal.
It's a big move.
It is a big move. You guys know what big move I'm talking about?
Are you talking
Maybe.
about
Yeah.
the...
Engagement.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Big ring in a book.
Yeah.
Dewey's going to propose to Gail. And he's like, we both know it's not going to work, but let's do
I
it
feel like
anyway.
that's fair. I feel like they've never really dated.
No.
I feel like they just almost get killed 3 times and then they decide
It's like knowing they date slightly in between each movie, but each time it doesn't work out. So they figure marriage solves all of that, which is just never true.
Do they have a home together?
No.
And she claims that she's gonna stop doing the journalism and
Yeah.
everything, even though we both know that would probably not happen.
No.
Because she's very aggressive with her journalism.
Well,
Yeah.
she's got that hit book.
She writes
New York Times
She
bestseller.
writes a book in between every movie. I also love though when Dewey comes at her, and I think it's the second one. He's like, Detective Dewey oozed with inexperience.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
Not one bit.
No.
Yeah, so they get engaged. Sydney and Kincaid are gonna get married 2 movies later. They are. Spoiler.
Spoiler. Deep spoiler.
Deep spoiler. He's never in a movie again. Is actually just stated in the background they are married with
yeah.
kids. Which I thought they had a big age gap in this movie, but I was wrong.
He looks kind of young, but definitely older than her.
Yeah.
Right? And I guess they really
Well,
didn't-
he's very dreamy. Just look at him.
he's very
like-
dreamy.
I actually don't know how old they are in this movie, so
he's definitely good looking, and they definitely have a sort of a weird moment in the
Yeah.
police station, but like he still was like super like creepy and ominous
yeah.
as well. So.
Yeah, but now he's making popcorn, so all's fine in the world. But this movie ends with Sydney accepting that she is safe because she doesn't close the door when it opens, even though there's going to be a lot of bugs, and she should have closed the
And
door.
you hate
Especially in
bugs.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah. I actually don't know if they're actually in Pennsylvania. It just seemed like
We're going to
it.
assume they
Yeah.
are.
There's also a dog.
There always is. They're everywhere. They're worse than the bugs.
Are you saying that dog behind you is worse than the bugs?
Good boy.
But yeah, that's Scream 3, boys.
All right. Review time?
Yeah, I'll start, and I guess we could work our way down the couch. I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to say it's the worst Scream movie of the franchise, but it's still a very enjoyable movie, even with, like, the plot holes we have mentioned. Like, yeah, voice changing like that didn't exist until literally 2022. how Kincaid is actually alive despite taking like 17 blows to the head. Not really sure how that guy's not a vegetable. Roman's motivation and how he was able to do everything, kind of fascinating.
It's the same thing like with the Mickey and Stu motivations.
But like, I don't know, for some reason this movie is still super enjoyable to watch, and it's held together because of like characters like Sydney and Gail and Dewey, and then the additions of like Jennifer's great. I'm gonna go out and live. I like Roman.
Okay.
I don't think he's not my favorite killer, but I like the character. I like the dweeby director killer. Like, I like it.
He's not even 30 yet, dude.
No. It was just his 30th birthday, right?
Yeah, he just turned 30.
I don't know. I really do enjoy it, but I can't give it higher than a 6 because of the glaring issues with this movie.
It fits comfortably there.
Yes.
At 6. It just slides right in at 6. So now to think, I gave the first one an 8, the second one a 7, and then the third one a 6. That's going to probably change with Scream 4 with the trajectory, because I'm obviously not giving that a 5. But yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head for most of it. I think what's cool about the Scream movies that I like is they present you with all these really cool characters from the neighborhood, and they go to like Hollywood and they like go all the different areas. But then they just start introducing brothers and sisters, other parts of their family, unbeknownst or named in the previous movies. So they just expand on the current character rosters. So, I don't know. I do enjoy that. I think it's funny, and I just love the fact that they have all of these, like, breakout stars play these, like, ancillary character roles. I do enjoy it. And, like, characters like Carrie Fisher, who just make an
amazing cameo.
Amazing cameo.
So, you're also going 6?
I'm going 6. It's a fun movie. I enjoyed it. But
Just
not as strong as the others.
Just wait until 4, where we'd get introduced to cousins.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Well, yeah, I'm also going to give this movie a 6. Like you said, there are some plot holes. There is one part where Gail actually checks Roman's pulse while he's dead.
I forgot about
that. And she's like, oh, he's dead. And then, you know what? He's alive 2 minutes later. So somehow Roman got his pulse to be able to stop midway. But it is very exciting and fun to watch. The voice changer, it's dumb, it's silly, it's good, though. But the one thing I like about this movie, it actually dives into this actually Stab, like the movie side of it, because all the other Scream movies, like it's usually just the kills and in the later, like they get Stab more involved. But like the first two was just killers running around. This is actually diving into what is real and what is fake between Stab and Scream. So I like that little aspect to it. Roman being the one solo killer, I respect the vision.
I respect the vision.
But in terms of the first two, it is not up to the same level, and I honestly really like 5 and 6 a lot. Whenever we got there, they're two good movies,
slowly but surely.
But yeah, no, I'll give Scream 3 a 6.
Yeah, I know, Matt, you're gonna go next, but I think this is like the first like movie where like Stabs have already come out. This is like the making of a Stab movie.
So I would say that I agree with all you guys. I think 6 as well. I do think, like you said, the plot holes, the fact that the director, I forgot his name already.
Wes Craven, Roman,
yeah. The fact that he was able to do all of this and track her down and stalk her pretty much, as well as being a director. I think that's a plot hole. And obviously there's plenty more where that came from. But I gave the first one an 8. I wasn't on the second one, but the third one, I do think that it just can't live up to the first one in terms of rating. But overall, it's an exciting movie, entertaining to say the least. And I think you guys pretty much encapsulated everything else I would say.
I also think that the first two had better kills just in general.
Oh, definitely. This one's very weak on the kills.
Yeah, it's just clean stabs for the most part. Clean stabs.
Yeah, because first one has the garage kill, which is pretty cool.
Even just like their stab kills are cool.
In terms of gore, like the first one, you got the guts hanging out. Yeah. And first kill. Yeah, this movie doesn't really go into.
I think you have Drew Barrymore like hanging from a tree.
It was awesome, epic in the first one. Like,
and I think the fact that they don't. Honestly, I kind of like the fact that they don't. That they're not that so many people are missing from it. So that way you're automatically thinking, where is this person? Where is this person? So it kind of leaves you up in the air, obviously till the end, but it leaves you up in the air thinking, who could it be?
Yeah.
In comparison to the other ones where they pretty much blatantly blame each other. But yeah.
I completely agree with everyone's points there. So we're talking kills. It's the best time to do a recommendation of the best kill in the movie. I don't think there's like a best kill.
Like a clean, obvious choice.
So I think I'm just going to go with my favorite character who was killed in this one, just because like all the kills are kind of weakish. I'm going to just go with Jennifer.
Okay.
Fake Gale. Because I actually do like the setup to her kill behind the mirror, even though she's kind of killed, not off screen, but just the way it's filmed. Yeah. I also just enjoyed her character. So if I had to go with anyone, I think I'd go Jennifer.
I know who I'm going with. I don't know if you want to go first, Nikki.
Yeah, I was going to say, for me, I think just because it was kind of dramatic, the way that he did die and like the walk up. And Jennifer's bodyguard.
Yeah,
Patrick Warburton.
Stone, that's what I was going with.
Okay.
He walks up, he just flops down on the face, and then it leads into the giant disarray of the whole house scene. So I felt like that one had a little punch to it. Nothing too crazy in terms of the visual kill, but like just the effect that it brought afterwards. I'm gonna go with Jennifer's bodyguard.
Yeah, I was going Stone as well. I like Stone or the opening kill with
Con
Weary, but because you don't really actually see it happen, I'm gonna go Stone. I think it was pretty funny actually.
I thought Stone as well, especially when he dropped the dewdrop right before he died. I thought that was pretty great.
I do agree with that.
However, I did also think I thought up in the air for the guy with the rug when they
Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson. I also thought that was a comical kill, I should say.
It was,
but I think the security guard's the better kill out of it.
Okay, 3-1. It's settled. Stone, you were the best bodyguard. You got all the A-listers. You rattled off a few names that you had bodyguards, so you weren't going to let some dewdrop tell you how to do your job. But the thing was, this dewdrop has dealt with this situation before. He knows how to deal with a Ghostface. And if you had listened, maybe checked your corners, you wouldn't have gotten snuck in a trailer. Getting snuck in a trailer, bad way to go. But it was epic the way you were able to make it from the trailer to the house just to kind of announce like, hey, I'm dead. There's danger out there. That's a true bodyguard. He, even in death, let them know they were in danger. So for that, we're putting you in our Necronomicon. Man, all this talk about this movie, next week's going to suck.
Next week? What do we got next week, Shane?
Oh, we have Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh, we've been trying to review this forever.
Yeah. We should have left it in the forever.
No. It's available on Peacock.
Yep.
Some say it's the best movie made in 2023. We were really looking forward to it, and it definitely delivered the package.
Yeah. So, Matt and Nick, thank you for being on this episode with us. I'm sure we'll have you guys back on together for Scream 4. Nick, you'll actually be on next week for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Oh, absolutely honored to cover this shit show of a movie.
It's definitely syrupy. It's honey-ish.
It's actually a very wet movie.
It's very wet.
There's a lot of drooling honey.
Yeah. This movie's moist.
You think they did Eeyore dirty?
I think they did him very dirty. He hashtag justice for Eeyore.
Yeah, seriously.
So yeah, with that said, we're the final podcast signing off, and we will see you next week at the 100 Acre Woods.
It's kind of the place to be. Like, imagine if someone was just like, hey, I used to talk to a bear, and I used to talk to a pig.
Hey, do you want to come see them?
And I communed with them until I had to go to college.
Ooh, baby, let's do this.
Tune in to www.thefinalpodcast.com for all of our content, new episodes of the show every Monday. And if you want to catch the B Show with Cannibal Gypsy Mike G, that'll be on every Friday. We'll see you next week.